Previously, after Callia learned about a fire in the fairy forest, she rushed to check if any fairies were harmed. During her visit, she encountered Shyman's spirit, Tiara, who guided her deeper into the forest. There, she was relieved to find that the fairies were safe. And when she asked if fairy Kia was also safe, the fairies assured her that Kia was safe and hibernating. Suddenly, Callia felt a quick pain inside her tummy and reminded of her impending delivery. To this, she suggested Tiara to return to its master and hurriedly left from the scene. Finding that Callia was the one Shyman sought, Tiara decided to inform him. Later, when Callia met servant McKenna and her daughter Siege, McKenna thanked her for saving her daughter and the other kid from the forest and urged her to take care of herself, as she and her baby were important to many people. Touched, Callia named her baby Shasha and hoped for a safe delivery soon. So, let's dive into the chapters 44 and 45 of the manhwa, The Baby Isn't Yours. After a heartwarming meeting with Callia, servant McKenna takes her leave, mentioning that her husband is a gatekeeper at the Lord's castle, and her husband informed her that attendant Gallus and Dr. Allen visited the castle. However, they informed her husband that they will leave the castle the next day, as they had to meet with the Empire's magicians who are arriving tomorrow. Hearing this, Callia thanks McKenna for sharing this news with her. Suddenly, Siege shows her etiquette and bids farewell with a smile. A few minutes later, Callia slumps on her bed and decides that she'll wait for them, because if she tries to overexert herself, Alan would surely get upset with her. Instantly, Callia feels a sudden pain as Shasha kicks inside her belly. Sensing this, she acknowledges that her condition hasn't been well lately, wondering if today might be the delivery day. Yet, she reassures herself that everything will be fine, and that she'll deliver the baby with Alan's guidance only when he returns from the castle. Meanwhile, at the Lewis Lord's castle, the anger Alan continuously kicks the door, shouting that Commander Callia is pregnant, and it's important for him to be there during her delivery. Observing this, Gallus suggests that Alan must calm down, as he is only hurting his arms. Plus, no one has been listening to them for hours. Crashing to the floor, Alan questions why she is so relaxed, to which Gallus responds that she is not relaxed but resigned to their situation. With gloomy expression, Alan admits he is afraid that if Callia finds out about this, she might come all the way here despite being heavily pregnant. Suddenly, he springs up and begins pacing nervously around the room, worrying about Callia with only a few days left before the delivery. He explains that sometimes the child doesn't come out as scheduled, and if they don't prepare in advance, both Callia and her baby could be in danger. After this, Alan starts banging on the door again, pleading for them to be released. Noting his frustration, Gallus wonders if they can jump out of the window, but she suddenly notices Alan fainting on the floor as a black substance seeps into the room. With a scared expression, she mutters about the strange substance. Further, the door gradually unlocks and reveals the hypnotized lord of the mansion appears before Gallus. The lord quickly grabs Gallus, to which she asks what he is doing. Clenching the egg tightly, she realizes that she can't use her power due to the egg. Trembling, she shouts at the lord and orders him to get off from her. But at noticing his tight grip, she kicks him in the belly and mentions that she told him to let go. And as the lord falls a few steps back, Gallus sees another thick shadow emerging from him. Shocked, she reflects that she has an ominous feeling, so she must avoid it. However, the lord transforms into the dark substance in order to engulf Gallus into itself. Yelling, Gallus tries to scare it off, mentioning that Callia will deal with the imposter later. Hearing this, the imposter attacks at Gallus at full speed. Yet, Shyman and Derek arrive just in time and eliminates the imposter. Dear viewers, apologies for the interruption. If you're genuinely enjoying the content on this channel, please consider hitting the subscribe icon with all notifications, since this little support of yours will help this creator continue delivering high-quality work to brighten your day. And take a moment at the end of the video to leave a comment, sharing your thoughts on the content. Your feedback means a lot. Now, let's not take up too much of your time and jump back into the story. Pissed, Shyman mentions that the security in the outskirts is indeed very bad. Later, as Shyman disinfects the area, Gallus wonders why he is here. Confused, she thinks he might be the one sent for the dragon's egg treatment. Suddenly, Shyman's calm eyes turns into predatory one, and as he steps toward Gallus, she shakily thanks him for saving her life. Kneeling, Shyman directly inquires about Callia, demanding to know where she is. Observing Gallus, Derek wonders why Callia's squire is in the town of Lua. Nevertheless, the lord's wife and the lady of the mansion arrives and asks about the fuss. But at recognizing Archmage Shyman, she questions if he the one who came for the egg. Yet, at seeing her fainted husband at the floor, she quickly springs towards him. Nervous, the lady assures that they will greet Shyman after her husband recovers. The lady then commands her soldiers to take the lord to his bedroom. After some minutes, Alan regains his consciousness, but at noticing Shyman's sudden presence and Gallus's silence for a quiet time, Alan wonders what happened between the time he knocked off. He then explains to the lady that the lord fainted due to weak energy, and he will recover soon if he takes his medicine. With a low voice, Shyman questions Gallus if she plans not to tell him anything. To this, Gallus asks if he is not here to retrieve the dragon's egg. With a piercing gaze, Shyman warns her not to play dumb with him. Suddenly, Alan intervenes and introduces himself, asking about Shyman's identity. Scrutinizing Alan, Shyman remarks that he must be the sweet black-haired guy. Perplexed, Alan asks what does he mean by that. Interfering Alan, Shyman demands him to tell where is Callia right now. Later, as Shyman, Alan and Gallus sits privately in another room. Both Gallus and Alan claims that they don't know where Callia is. Hearing this, Shyman expresses that if they want to be innocent and want to play as dumb, he can wait until they convince themselves to convey each and every single detail, as he has been in hell for months in search of Callia, so he can endure a little long. Shyman then gives a menacing look at Alan and reflects that he wants to get rid of Alan, who held Callia's hand gently as if he was her lover. Plus, he wants to eliminate everything that is becoming a barrier between him and Callia. However, at imagining Callia's face, Shyman realizes that he can't kill Alan, as she will never forgive him for killing her baby's father. And he himself not sure about everything yet, so it's better to check it out and put halt to his murderous intention. Confused, Shyman wonders if Callia loves Alan and is pregnant with his child. Then why did she run away without announcing it? Suddenly, Gallus mentions that Callia already left a note for him, telling him that she will come back. But why does he defy her words and come here to find her? With a determined expression, Gallus wonders how Shyman can be Shasha's father, since she is an angel who saved her from misery. Thus, it seems absurd to believe that a scary man like him is Callia's lover. Moreover, despite Callia being a very active person, the only thing she lacks is sense. And to prevent this man from uniting with Callia, she would even sacrifice her life also. After a brief silence among them, Shyman delivers a gloomy face with teary eyes, expressing that he will die without Callia. He explains that he really wants to see her and doesn't understand why she escaped. And just because she left no clue behind her, how can he find her? Besides, he feels bad about her leaving without telling him why. Yet he can't hate her as she is his savior and only source of his life. Hence, he needs to find her as soon as possible. Crossing his fingers, Shyman urges them to tell him Callia's hideout, as he is about to go insane and destroy everything. Learning this, Gallus reflects that Shyman is deeply in love with Callia, perhaps enough to make him feel crazy. But it's a bit dangerous, as Callia is the one who doesn't understand what love is. And such an intense love is surely bad for Callia, especially considering pregnancy. Nevertheless, Gallus is abruptly ready to reveal Callia's whereabouts. Shocked, Alan reminds her that it's not their decision to make. To this, Gallus responds that Shyman won't let them go until they tell him, and it would be better to go back as soon as possible before something happens to Callia. Hearing that Callia is in a tough situation, the possessed Shyman asks if something bad has happened to Callia. He then notes that Alan seems like a doctor from the start. Suddenly, Shyman begins to radiate his strong aura and demands to know if Alan's attachment to Callia. Springing up, he declares that if it's something related to Callia, they need to go to her immediately. Listening to this, Gallus urges Shyman to meet Callia after a few days, to which he rebukes her and expresses that he is going even crazier knowing she is in danger. Suddenly, Spirit Tiara appears with a peep sound. Seeing Tiara, Shyman questions what he is doing here right now. Climbing onto Shyman's shoulder, Tiara reports his findings from the fairy forest. Shocked, Shyman asks if Tiara met the women he asked to find him. And as Tiara answers yes, Shyman casts his spell upon him to locate Callia's location. Activating, Tiara's imagination shows Callia's face and her actual location. Witnessing Callia's face, Shyman becomes emotional and utters her name in a soft voice. Meanwhile, in the town of Lua, Callia sits in her room, muttering about a bad feeling related to her pain. Getting up from the bed, she begs Alan and Gallus to come back soon, as she needs them. Descending the stairs, she decides to take a walk on the ground floor. However, someone knocks at the main door. Hearing this, she wonders if it is Gallus or Alan. They wouldn't hesitate in coming inside. For this, she takes a sword in her hand for protection, and by stepping towards the door, she asks who is at the door. Amid this, Callia experiences unbearable pain in her tummy. And as she collapses on the floor, someone shouts Callia's name with a concerned voice. Recognizing the voice, she raises her head and gasps in shock with eyes wide, as the person is none other than Archmage Shyman. Shyman, at observing Callia's large belly, he recalls Gallus' words, who pleaded him not to judge Callia, especially not to frighten her no matter what she looks like. Shocked, Shyman gently asks why Callia's stomach is so big. As we wrap up today's segment, thank you for being with us until the very end. I'll be sharing fresh videos of this manga and exciting new series every weekend. Your support is invaluable, so please subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay updated. Your encouragement keeps the channel thriving, and I appreciate it immensely. Until next time, take care and goodbye.